Now, this one is, honestly, this one, once again, it's not surprising. More than half of moms of boys with gender dysphoria have their own psychological issues, according to resurfaced report. It's almost as if the mothers have their own mental issues and they're passing it on to the child by saying, "You're trans." And then the child's being like, "Goo goo gaga."
Many of the goo goo. Many of the women also have narcissistic personality disorder. Researchers, isn't that just called narcissism?
Yeah. So basically, they just pass all the bullshit on down to the child, and now the child is like, "This is how the world is." And then the child is now, as sad as it sounds, they've become this person who thinks all of this shit, and they're been taught that their whole life. So they know this to be true, right? They don't think it's true. They know it to be true because that's their reality that they've lived in their whole life.
Right.
And I mean, you should be able to understand in certain situations that, hey, the reality is this and this is not the reality. But when you have that narcissism and, you know, you've been taught this by your parent, your only parent, I'm guessing,
is crazy and wants to convince you of only their perspective.
Yep, and you've been taught to only care about yourself and your feelings and what you want, because that's what mothers tend to do when it's the only child. That you're like, feelings, you must be emotional and feelings and all that shit. Then you just kind of throw logic and reason out.
Mm-hmm.
No longer can you be a logical and reasonable person. Get it out of there. So sadly, there's sex for these kids. But hey, that's
just the way it is right now.
That's how it is for them.
What does the rest of the article have?
Oh yeah, let's read it. Yeah. A study on gender dysphoria conducted in 1994 has resurfaced and is making waves over the conclusion it draws. Researchers compared mothers of boys with gender identity disorder with mothers of normal boys to determine whether differences in psychopathy and child-rearing attitudes and practices could be identified. According to the study, mothers of boys with gender identity disorders had more symptoms of depression and more often met the criteria for borderline personality disorder than mothers of boys who don't exhibit issues with their gender identity. Hey, one more paragraph. More than half, 53%, of moms of boys with gender identity disorder had been diagnosed with depression or BPD, compared to just 6%, of the control group.
Wow.
Additionally, 44% sought psychiatric help for depression at some point in their life. Damn, that's a big ass difference.
That's a huge difference.
Oh shit. 6%. I mean, yeah. That whole thing when people are like, single mothers are not the best parents, kind of showing here that there's some scientific. I want to see
the research on single dads now.
Right? You know, I actually heard that single dads are better at raising a child. Which, I mean, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm pretty sure there's they have their own issues, right? But generally,
well, it's like what you say. It's like what you're always saying. Everything needs a balance, you know.
Yeah. Like you need the father because they have this, and you need the mother because they have this. So when they're together, it kind of creates a cohesive situation where best outcome.
Yeah.
But when you have the mother, all the emotions and feelings, and it's the worst situation. With the father, you probably have like very stoic and unemotional, maybe like a very hard ass type of situation.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine that the child would come in. Yeah, the child may come up like being super like
a little gruffer,
unemotional and just like very hardcore in your face type, you know. But I mean, that's probably better than the latter. You know,
well, it depends on the dad, I guess.
Yeah, that too, because once again, not everybody is the same and not everybody's perfect. So the father could be like a raging alcoholic, and then that's gonna have its own issues. So whatever. But generally speaking, I think it is probably better if the father was the single parent and the mother pay the child support.
Holy crap!
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe if I'm brainwashed or not, but it kind of makes me feel bad for the mom. But best for the child, I guess.
I mean, the child's in the worst situation. I mean,
oh yeah.
But if you think about it, right, the system is set up in a way where the mother pretty much is going to get custody of the child in all, if not most,
It's
of the
always
situation,
geared towards the mother.
right?
It's always geared.
So, why is that, government? Huh? Why do you want the mother to have the
Maybe
child?
they knew.
Thank you once again for watching, but please go subscribe on Rumble, Odyssey, and Utreon to see more content that we cannot put on YouTube. Also, check out our GameSanity channel where we play live streams of different games, and the Oreyo Show where we have a podcast about current events and interesting topics going on in the world today. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.